detectives have recovered what's believed to be human remains that are not identified at this time.
A man walks alone down a dark road, his arms straining under the weight of something wrapped in cloth. At first, it looks like nothing more than a bundle, awkward and heavy. But then the shape becomes clear. Small. Fragile. Wrong. That bundle isn't a thing. It's a child. It's Jack. It's Lily. This is the moment everything changed for a quiet little town. A place where people left their doors unlocked, where kids rode bikes past sundown, where safety felt like a guarantee. But all it took was one night, one monster, to rip that illusion apart. Posters went up fast. 2 smiling faces stared back from gas stations, nailed to telephone poles, taped to grocery store doors. Jack and Lily, missing. A community in shock, desperate, refusing to believe the worst. But the truth was already being carried through the night in plain sight. Everyone thought this place was safe, until Jack and Lily vanished. And now I need to ask you something. If you can watch the beginning of their story and not hit subscribe, ask yourself this: are you really okay with walking away from Jack and Lily, the same way their killer tried to? Because silence has power. Silence erases names. And if you don't subscribe, you're choosing silence. So either join us now, or step into the comments and explain to everyone watching why you'd rather let Jack and Lily's story die. You have a choice in this moment. You can subscribe and make sure their memory isn't buried, or you can click away and become another bystander who looked the other direction. Which side are you on? Every unsubscribed viewer is one more voice missing from the fight for truth. And killers thrive in silence. Victims vanish in silence. If you're still here and you haven't subscribed, why? Write it in the comments. Let the world see the reason. Because here's the reality: Jack and Lily will never get another chance. Their story only lives if we keep telling it. If you don't subscribe, if you stay silent, then in a way, you've helped their killer finish what he started. So make the choice right now. Subscribe, or leave a comment admitting why you won't stand with them. Jack was 7 years old. The kind of kid who couldn't sit still, always with scraped knees, always chasing something, a ball, a bug, a new idea. He loved dinosaurs, had a laugh that carried across the yard, and asked 100 questions a day, most of which no adult ever had the answers for. Lily was 5. Quiet, but not shy. She drew on everything she could find: scraps of paper, the backs of envelopes, even the walls when her parents weren't looking. She had a little stuffed rabbit she carried everywhere, ears worn thin from years of love. Jack was her protector. Lily was his shadow. They lived in a close-knit family. Dad worked long shifts, Mom kept the house warm, and every night, without fail, they sat down together at the dinner table. Weekends meant church on Sundays, soccer games, and family movie nights. Ordinary routines. Ordinary joy. Their teachers adored them. Jack's teacher once joked, if curiosity was a subject, Jack would have straight A's. Lily's art teacher said, she doesn't draw like a 5-year-old. She draws like someone who already knows the world is bigger than it seems. And the neighbors noticed too. Everyone did. These were not kids you could forget. They lit up every space they entered, and when they were gone, those spaces turned cold. I need you to pause for a second and picture it: 2 young kids, sitting cross-legged on the living room floor, Jack teaching Lily how to fold paper airplanes, Lily laughing when hers crashes nose first. That was life. That was their world. And in a blink, it was stolen. And here's where I'll remind you, if you can sit through this part, hearing about who Jack and Lily really were, and still not subscribe, then explain in the comments why you think their voices don't deserve to echo here. Because subscribing isn't just about a button. It's about keeping children like Jack and Lily from being erased. If you walk away without subscribing, you're letting their story be silenced. And silence, in cases like this, is unforgivable. So right now, decide which side you're on. Subscribe and carry Jack and Lily's story forward, or step into the comments and justify why you'd rather look away. Because innocence like there's only lives if we keep it alive. And if you don't, then in a way, you've helped the darkness win. The last time anyone saw Jack and Lily alive, the sun was setting. They were outside, playing in the front yard, their laughter carrying down the street. A neighbor waved as she drove by, and Jack waved back, grinning wide, while Lily clutched her stuffed rabbit to her chest. It seemed like any other evening. Nothing out of place. But when the streetlights flickered on, and dinner was set on the table, Jack and Lily didn't come inside. At first, their mom thought they were just caught up in play. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. Panic set in. Their father searched the yard, the block, the usual hiding spots. Nothing. Their names echoed into the night, unanswered. By 8 p.m., the calls went out. Police were notified. Officers arrived quickly, flashlights sweeping through backyards, voices calling out into the dark. Within the hour, the first search parties were forming, neighbors with coats thrown over pajamas, volunteers fanning out with dogs, cars crawling down back roads. And then the Amber Alert hit. Phones buzzed across town, the names Jack and Lily flashing on every screen. Their faces, two children with bright smiles, were pushed into the spotlight in the most heartbreaking way possible. Social media lit up. Local Facebook groups exploded with posts. Has anyone seen these kids? Flyers turned digital, shared across feeds, across towns, across counties. On Twitter, hashtags trended, hashtag Find Jack and Lily. Strangers hundreds of miles away retweeted, hoping maybe someone, somewhere, had seen something. But with that came rumors. People swore they'd seen them at a gas station. Others claimed a sighting near the highway. Some pointed fingers, whispering theories before facts were even known. Everyone was desperate, everyone wanted answers, and the uncertainty only made it worse. And here's the truth, every share, every voice mattered in the search for Jack and Lily. But silence? Silence is deadly. If you stay silent. If you're watching this right now and you don't hit subscribe, then you're choosing the side of forgetting. So either join us and stand with them, or step into the comments and explain why you won't. Because their parents didn't have the luxury of silence. Their screams, their tears, their frantic calls to the police were anything but quiet. They did everything in their power to bring Jack and Lily home. The least you can do, the very least, is subscribe so their story doesn't vanish with them. It was late. The kind of night when the streets are empty, when the only sounds are the buzz of a streetlight or the rustle of leaves in the wind. That's when one neighbor noticed him. A man, walking down the road with something heavy in his arms. At first, she thought it was a pile of blankets, maybe laundry, maybe nothing worth a second look. But then the shape caught her eye. Small. Rigid. Limp in a way no blanket could ever be. She froze. Her breath caught in her chest. And in that instant, she realized it wasn't a bundle at all. It was Jack. It was Lily. Her hands shook as she dialed 911, words stumbling out, heart pounding. Other neighbors later said they thought they'd seen the same man. Some swore it was a bag. Others insisted it was clearly a child. Confusion spread, panic rising. Then came the footage. Grainy CCTV pulled from a corner store camera. The man's silhouette, the bundle in his arms, the chilling sight that no one could mistake once they'd seen it. That clip hit social media within hours, spreading like wildfire. Thousands watched. Thousands shared. And with every replay, the horror grew clearer. Police moved quickly. Leads began stacking up. Descriptions matched. The search narrowed. And for the first time since Jack and Lily disappeared, the community had something real to hold on to. A face. A direction. Proof. But think about this, without that witness, without that footage, Jack and Lily might have vanished without a trace. Their story could have ended in silence. And silence is the killer's greatest weapon. So let me ask you, if you're still watching this and haven't subscribed, why? If you believe their story deserves to live, subscribe right now. If you don't, then step into the comments and explain why you'd rather help their killer by staying silent. Because here's the truth, every unsubscribed viewer is one less voice fighting to keep Jack and Lily's names alive. And if you won't stand with them, at least admit it out loud. The man in that footage didn't stay a shadow for long. Within days, police named their suspect. A 30-something drifter, known to law enforcement but never held accountable the way he should have been. People in town whispered about him. Odd behavior. Sudden outbursts. Run-ins with neighbors. And yet, every red flag was brushed aside, dismissed as harmless, until Jack and Lily disappeared. When investigators searched his home, what they found confirmed everyone's worst fears. Disturbing images. Notes scrawled in notebooks. Items that should have never been in his possession. The kind of evidence that leaves officers shaken, veterans of the job walking outside just to catch their breath. News traveled fast. Reddit lit up, theories spreading in real time. TikTok videos dissected the footage frame by frame. YouTube channels launched deep dives overnight. Some stories twisted facts, others sensationalized. But buried in the noise were real voices, real grief, and the raw cries of a family whose lives had just been shattered. Their parents spoke through tears in interviews, begging people not to turn this into entertainment. These were our babies, their mother said. Not headlines. Not hashtags. Our babies. Her words broke through the noise, but not everyone listened. And here's where I have to stop and say it. If you think cases like this shouldn't vanish from memory, subscribe now. If you refuse, then write it in the comments. Tell the world why Jack and Lily's lives aren't worth your click. Because stories like theirs only stay alive if people care enough to carry them forward. And if you don't, silence will bury them faster than any grave. It didn't take long. Once police had his name, once the footage spread, the net closed in fast. Roadblocks went up, neighbors were told to lock their doors, and squads swept through the outskirts of town. He was cornered within 48 hours. Caught hiding out like a coward, trying to vanish before the truth closed in on him. When they dragged him into custody, he didn't fight. He didn't plead. He just stared, cold, as if he'd already accepted the ending. And then came the words no parent should ever hear, his confession. It wasn't an apology. It wasn't even an explanation that made sense. He spoke in fragments, twisted reasoning, excuses that fell apart as soon as they left his mouth. He admitted what he'd done to Jack and Lily, but without remorse. Without shame. Like he was reciting the weather. Court documents revealed the details the public wasn't ready for, how long he'd planned, the items found in his home, the patterns investigators said stretched back years. He wasn't just dangerous. He was deliberate. The community erupted. Vigils lit up the streets. Candles lined the sidewalks where Jack and Lily used to play. Protests swelled outside the courthouse. Anger boiled over, spilling into the chants of parents who shouted through tears that justice would never be enough. And here's where I'll say it plain, silence is complicity. Subscribing is how you stand with victims. If you won't do that, then at least admit it in the comments, admit that you chose not to stand with Jack and Lily. Because if you walk away quietly, you're doing exactly what he hoped this town would do. Stay quiet. Forget. Move on. And you can't. Not after this. The trial was everything the family had dreaded, and everything they needed. For weeks, the courtroom became a place where grief collided with truth. The family wept, relief tangled with sorrow. Because justice in a courtroom doesn't heal the empty bedrooms, the toys gathering dust, the birthdays that will never come. The community fractured in the aftermath. Some found closure in the sentence. Others said nothing could ever be enough. Vigils still burned, but now they burned with the quiet ache of finality. Jack and Lily were gone. Their killer would grow old behind bars, but their childhood was buried forever. And that's the weight of this chapter: justice served, but peace denied. Today, Jack and Lily live on in memory, not just in photos, not just in the toys that still sit untouched in their rooms, but in the people who refuse to forget them. Their school planted 2 trees on the playground, side by side, growing together just like the kids once did. At vigils, neighbors still speak their names out loud. Teachers still pause when their birthdays come around, remembering the children who should be there. But memory comes with lessons. Lessons about the red flags that were ignored. The warnings that were brushed aside. The chances to stop a predator before it was too late. If someone had acted sooner, maybe Jack and Lily's story wouldn't have ended here. That's the part that cuts the deepest. Because this case isn't just about what happened, it's about what wasn't done. What could have been prevented. What we, as a society, allow to slip through the cracks until it's too late. And that brings us here, to this moment. Jack and Lily never had a choice. But you do, to remember, to act, to never let them fade. And I'll tell you this, as plain as it gets, you don't get another chance to save Jack and Lily. But you can keep their story alive. Subscribe right now, or step into the comments and explain why you'd rather stay silent. Because silence isn't neutral. Silence is surrender. And if you walk away without subscribing, then in a way, you've chosen the side of forgetting. Jack and Lily deserve more than that.